Alright, what's up everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another session of Final Fantasy X, the Pbirdman mod. This session is the one. This is the one where I'm going to beat Nemesis. That's the plan I have. I'm going to do everything in my power to make that happen. Last session I made really good progress. I could have won probably in the previous battle, but unexpected events happened. So, you know, I was close, but this time I think I can do it. So I'm going to stick to what I have here. I'm not sure if I did this in the last session or if this is like work I did in between, but just in case, I got some more HP spheres, I cashed those in, take me up to 41,000. So the plan was that when I get revived by Auto Life, I'll be able to survive a Nova or Fistful of Nines, any attack that does quad 9 damage basically. So that's the reason why I went above 41,000. And of course, while I was farming those HP spheres, I got myself the second ribbon armor. So I've been chatting with Pbirdman. Honestly, I think, you know, depending on you can, even though this is a challenge mod, you can still of course cater the challenge to your own specific playstyle and taste and that kind of thing. I think if you want to do this sort of the quote-unquote easiest way possible, it's worth just doing the work early and basically getting 3 of these armors, I think. Personally, just get 3 of these. So Tice doesn't have one right now, but put in like an extra hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on how fast you can run the mod and all that kind of stuff, and basically get 3 of these. I'll get 3 of these armors. I'm pretty sure these are going to be enough to take out the Dark Aeons as well. And if they aren't, if for whatever reason you need a different kind of armor to take out the Dark Aeons, that's going to be a bit of a problem. And something I'll talk to Pbirdman about, because it's taken me a long time to farm for even these 2. So having to do all of this all over again, because for whatever reason these armors aren't going to work against the Dark Aeons and you need something a bit more specific, then that's going to be a huge problem. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So for now, I'm going to give it a final sort of serious attempt to beat Nemesis under these conditions. And if I can't do it, honestly, I think it's worth just not trying to be too kind of, you know, too much of a badass, and just take the time to get Tidus the armor as well. So basically have these 3 for everybody, and then I'm pretty sure that with those conditions you should be able to get it done. So that's what I have to say about it. I'm going to try one more time like this, and if I can't do it, I'll probably hack in like the stuff at this stage. You guys get the point, and we'll go from there and see how it goes. But I feel like I can win, because the last time I lost was a bit unfortunate. It wasn't. I know I can do better than that. So let's give it a go. Okay, so I've replenished all of my items using Final Fantasy Editor. As you guys know, that's what I tend to do before these major battles, to save a bit of farming time. Let's head back to the superpowers once again. Okay, so I've been chatting with Pbirdman, and there's a couple of slight tweaks that we have to the battle. So one thing I've been saying is that yes, of course, Superpowers is meant to be the most difficult battle in the game that we've faced so far, but Nemesis having 10 million HP, the team having no way to block Power Break and no real way to dispel everyone at the same time, like reasonably. Basically, previously, Power Break had an infinite chance of hitting you, so whenever you saw Ultra Spark, it was guaranteed that all 3 of your characters would be power broken. And I said to Pbirdman, I said, maybe like don't make it infinite percentage, like now and then having someone who's not power broken, it's going to help the player's damage output. And you know, I didn't say like remove it or anything, but maybe drop it a little bit so that, you know, let's say every time it uses it, maybe 1 out of 3 characters doesn't have power break, so that you can continue your momentum a bit more quickly, because the battle is just so long and we have 10 million HP to take out anyway. And the fact that we get power broken so regularly for everybody is just, it's a pain in the arse. So I said maybe it's just like, for like the sake of not turning it into like a 5-hour battle, let's just maybe go a bit easier on the power break. So he's lowered the power break percentage from Ultra Spark. I believe it's 40% now. So across 3 characters, there's a high chance at least 1 or 2 of them are going to be power broken, but we'll just have to see how it works when we actually receive the attack. So that's one tweak. The second one worth mentioning is that we have, I'm going to call it Ultimate Jet Shot, I keep forgetting, I think it's Ultimate Weapon Shot, but because I've only ever seen it up until today as Ultimate Jet Shot, that's what comes to my mind when I see the animation. That move, the odds were 1 in 7 of seeing it for any given move, He's dropped it to 1 in 8 now, because it seemed to happen frequently enough that a lot of the buffs that you put in, that they get wiped out because there's pretty much no way that you can survive it. So he's lowered that slightly. Not in the sense it's going to be hugely noticeable, but you'll see a little bit less across the length of like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hour length battle. That's the second tweak that I know of. I don't think there's any more than that. Everything else is exactly the same. The final thing I have to say is I'm pretty sure the reason I died last time was because Nemesis has an ultimate counter, and when it used the counter I assumed it wasn't going to use it twice in a row because I hadn't seen it happen. Apparently every time you attack it there's a 1 in 8 chance of it using Ultima in response. It felt like it was higher than that to me, but apparently the number is 1 in 8. So by that logic, the odds of it hitting you with Ultima back to back on attacks is actually 1 in 64. So the way that I died in the previous battle, I'm pretty sure it was back to back. The odds of that happening were 1 in 64. So it was a bit frustrating that it was so like, you know, something so niche that ended up getting me in the end. But that's why it happened, and I guess there is no real choice other than if your HP is going to go below the Ultra Spark threshold, you just don't attack him like on the move before its attack. That's just all you can really do. So that's what you guys need to know before going into this attempt. I'm hoping this is going to be a winning attempt, so let's get into it and see how we do. Gonna be a long old battle. I think I was wondering if I should bother with stamina tonics and stuff. Let's start the battle with first. It's going to give me a much better chance of surviving Ultra Spark, so I think it's worth it. Okay. So Riku's just got to do her thing and give us 5 times cheer and defend as well, cheer and focus as well, and then we should be fairly ready to start. But the fact that we can get up to a beefy 81,000 HP is pretty impressive now. Okay, let's go. Pretty sure it was 2 star curtains, yeah. Okay, defensively we're ready to go. So until we see Ultra Spark, hopefully we'll be able to do some big damage. And now that we have break MP limit and a nice 1600 MP, that's a lot of quick hits as well. So hopefully we can take out Omega pretty fast. The power difference between Shimmering Rain and Ultra Spark is hilarious. So Nemesis is one of those ones, it's worth mentioning here. I've been going in pretty blind because obviously I don't want to go into the change notes to check Pbirdman stuff. That's more for entertainment than for the tutorial purposes. Obviously if this was purely like to teach you guys everything that's in the mod and for no other purpose, then obviously I should be going in and telling you guys every single move that these guys can do and the order that they do it in and all that kind of stuff. But while I was chatting with Pbirdman, one thing he did mention is that Nemesis, basically the way that his AI works is that he has a routine of turns, and in between those turns there is a 1 in 8 chance of that ultimate jet shot thing being used, or Armageddon if the Armageddon counter goes up to 30. I don't know how the Armageddon counter works. It's probably the same as it was in vanilla, but it's not the kind of thing that I particularly studied or feel like I needed to study very much. But if I find that I'm really struggling, it's the kind of thing where I do need to go into there. And I guess at the highest level of this thing, if you still can't get through, you're trying everything, it's the kind of battle where you really will need to make a note of the moves that you're making, how close is Nemesis to using Armageddon, and all that kind of stuff. So that's something that's worth mentioning. And in terms of the turn order, I believe after every Ethereal Cannon is an Ultra Spark. Like, that's the one that's important for me. So if the previous turn was Ethereal Cannon, there's a 7 in 8 chance of Ultra Spark being used next, and a 1 in 8 chance of the ultimate Jet Shot thing being used. So that's just some extra information for you guys. I'm not going to quick hit with Tidus. Nice. But seeing that much MP is just such a joy. Literally, pretty much never been a thing in any playthrough I ever did. Maybe the first one I ever did. Out of curiosity, I might have given someone break MP limit just to see what it looks like, but I've never really used it before. So yeah, there you go. So Nemesis is predictable to a large degree, but he will throw in curveballs with the ultimate Jet Shot, and also Armageddon if you're not keeping track. Okay. One advantage, obviously, of having this much MP is that you can quick pocket a lot more regularly. That's definitely going to save you a lot. Pretty sure they're cursed, right? Ultra Spark is just so nasty. Okay. We always need them overdrives on point, so... I don't know if Tidus is going to use an auto potion. Did he have auto potion in his armor? I'm going to try and Purify Insult him because it's a quicker move. Wait, that was the wrong person. Sorry, my bad. But I just want to see if it kicks in. It does. Okay, that's good to know. But it was Riku that's supposed to get that. Because with Power Break it's just too much damage, man. Thankfully we don't have too much use for like Shell and Protect in this battle, I think. With the HP and 5 times cheer and that kind of thing, it's just not that needed. Okay. As long as we got our auto life there, that's all we need. Wait a minute. Did it not get rid of... What? Are you kidding me? I had no idea that Purifying Salt didn't get rid of... It's literally a Dispel, it's got the same animation. Are you for real? What on earth? You learn something new every day. And yes, Rocket Punch always comes after Ultra Spark. That is so strange. I don't know if it's a Pbirdman mod thing. I could swear using Purifying Souls was a strategy against like Penance when you got mental broken or whatever. That's very weird. Okay. Can't argue with the mechanics. I thought I'd try and save myself a bit of time, but it didn't work. Okay, let's keep the pressure on. That attack almost always goes critical. So yeah, it rotates between Ethereal Cannon, Ultra Spark, and Rocket Punch, with the other move thrown in for good measure. Right. Ultra Spark coming next. Obviously, because the HP is so much higher now, the overdrives aren't charging as quickly either. That's worth noting. But hopefully Armageddon should be sufficient. Okay. Pretty sure it's Ultra Spark next. Okay. Titus getting wrecked. But this is what I mean, if you had the third armor as well, Titus wouldn't be dying here either. So your output would be much faster. Okay. I think Armageddon should not be too far away at this stage. So there you go. Because it's 40% now, only Waka got power broken. So previously it was Waka and Riku. This time it's only him. So this is what I mean, like it gives you that extra turn. And it speeds you up a little bit. And I think it's a welcome addition. Because it's one of those things that having multiple power breaks doesn't make the battle harder, it just drags it on longer. And I think there's always a sweet spot for that kind of thing, I reckon. Sometimes just making the battle take longer doesn't really add anything to the battle, in my opinion. And that was one of those situations. But I think Armageddon is not hugely far away at this point, so we've got to be careful. I'm going to see how I manage if I only have 2 people in auto life and I never bothered to auto life Titus. We'll see if that's enough. Damn it. One thing I'm going to ask actually is, because Riku's the only one that has alchemy, I wonder if Pbirdman could somehow mess with the priority so that Riku will always get priority for using Phoenix Downs. I think that'd be a nice bonus. Okay, so we need to be careful when we see the Armageddon come after this move. Nice. Okay. I think we can just go. I don't know what move it's going to use. We've got plenty of turns before the next Ultra Spark anyway, so I'm just going to go. Okay, this should give Riku the full overdrive. Wow, it still wasn't a full overdrive? Damn. Wait, is she cursed? Oh shit, she's cursed. I didn't see that. Gotta get rid of that curse. I don't think Waka's cursed actually. Yeah, okay. So now we either have Ultra Spark next, or we have Armageddon, or there's a 1 in 8 chance, I guess, of Ultimate Jet Shot, which we haven't seen yet. Okay. Let's see. Ultra Spark. This is good. I'd rather see Armageddon straight after, because that means you've got a couple of moves before Ultra Spark comes again. So these are the only kind of things you have to keep in your head, even if you're not counting for Armageddon. These are good to know. Okay. Alright, let's see who's been power broken, if anyone. Yeah, Waka. Let's just hope this move isn't a Nova. Okay, good. That's fine. Got a few more turns here to do some damage. So it should be either Rocket Punch, Armageddon, or the Ultimate Jet Shot. Okay, there it is. So this is good timing because we know the next move is now either going to be Rocket Punch or the Jet Shot. Means we've got plenty of time to recover before the next Ultra Spark. Okay, that's not bad. Riku always needs 2 overdrives to basically get us back on point, so that's not too bad. Just considering, is it better to revive Tidus now, or is it better... I think it's better to revive him at the moment. Because we know Rocket Punch is coming next, so he could potentially take a hit for us. Okay. Yeah, this is good. It's fine. Hit someone else. Right, this is good. So we've got Ethereal Cannon next after this one. Of course, the Ultimate Jet Shot is going to throw a spanner in the works now and then, but that's, I mean, there's literally nothing we can do about that, so just got to deal with it. Let's see what happens if we don't double up HP here. Ah, he was in Sentinel because I used... yeah, that's good. Yeah, because the Mega Mighty G puts you in Sentinel, that's something I didn't remember. I'll do the Entrusting now. So we've got Ethereal Cannon to come and then Ultra Spark. In terms of probabilities, feeling much more reasonable now for the Ultimate Jet Shot. Let's do it. Yeah, so now Ultra Spark will do a lot less damage as well. Counter. Excellent. Okay, let's get it. I might as well land the extra hit. This Ultra Spark coming next, but we should be... You see, now I'm thinking, we've got Ultra Spark. Yeah, I mean, even if it followed up with Nova, so it did Nova and then Ultra Spark, it still won't kill us. Because we have the 5 times cheer and all that stuff, so... I'm pretty sure at 41,000 HP we can't be beaten. We can't be, like, wiped out. Some good counterattacks. Okay. Now we've got to operate fast. She's also the one with the power break. So it seems like it's going pretty well so far. Okay, I'm gonna go. I feel like I'm not too far away from beating Omega Weapon here. There we go. Called it. So now then, once again we have the small matter of 10 million HP to take out. I'm liking the ultimate weapon I've made so far though, with break MP limit. I have a feeling that might be one of the optimal configurations for the Pbirdman mod. Okay. So now, like I say, the trick is to... We got hit with Ultra Spark last move, so we should be fine to just start attacking here. So remember, 1 in 8 chance that it replies with an ultimate. And the next move should be Rocket Punch. Okay. Ethereal Cannons have come after this. So there you go, there's that 1 in 8 chance. So the fact that it did it on 2 moves back to back is just BS. That's the way it goes. So Ethereal Cannon coming next. Nice. And a free counter. So at the moment, provided I don't make any mistakes, I should be able to win here. Hopefully. I mean, it's taken a hell of a lot of preparation and some defeats in the process, but I think we're going to make it. Tyler should be able to X Potion. Like I say, only thing we've got to be wary of here is Ultima plus Ultra Spark. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, for that reason I'm not going to attack just in case. I'm going to toss a Turbo Ether. These guys finally started running low on MP. That Ultra Spark. Again, Armageddon's probably not too far away. Okay. I think Armageddon's coming soon enough that I'm not going to bother dispelling power breaks. Just want to make sure I get those full overdrives once I'm done. Okay. Let's get those final little bits of damage in. Again, I wonder if he can make Ultima more powerful, potentially. This is something I'll ask him. She's power broken, so I'm just going to use this as another free turn for some more MP. Yeah, it's liking the ultimate counter now. Just going to auto-live Tidus here, get everybody back at the same time. Speed things up for the next round. Just thinking, if it counters with that, it might take someone out with Ethereal Cannon, so I'm just going to wait. Oof. Nasty. Gonna get that attack reels in. Here we go. Because it is doing good damage. I'm thinking surely it's got to be Armageddon on the next turn. Surely. Alright, can go for that attack. Damn. It's going to be the bad timing version. We're going to get Armageddon and then Ultra Spark. That is not good. I really thought we would have got Armageddon by now, but this is what I mean by, like, if you really want to do it legit, you need to be counting the Armageddon counter. So I don't know how it works, but it'll be like, I don't know, every time it's attacked it goes up by 1 point, or every time Ethereal Cannon's used it goes up by 3 points. And if you keep a track of that, you will know exactly when Armageddon's coming. But I'm just blinding it for now. But this is the dangerous set turns where I need to be careful with what I'm doing, so I don't have any accidents. Because there is a chance Ultra Spark could come next. And not Armageddon. I think we're good. Basically, I mean, even in the worst case scenario, I'm pretty certain Riku will get a turn in between, so I just have to make sure I use Mega Mighty G on that turn. That's all it really is. Okay. So I'm just going to wait this one out. Turbo E through. Yeah, surprising. I really thought it would have happened by now. We've only seen Armageddon once. But ultimately this is a good thing, because surely, like, when Armageddon does come, I'll have more turns to spare before Ultra Spark. Okay, now they're both power broken, we need to intervene here. Damage output is weak. At least we can get a few more attacks in. I think Dispel cures Curse as well, maybe? That's one thing I noticed. It's these kind of stage effects that I really normally don't have to deal with that much. But it's looking like it might be the case, so Holy Waters might be a wasted turn here. Okay. Again, worst case scenario, what could happen? It counters with ultimate, then hits us with rocket punch, which is fine. Let's go. Yeah, Armageddon just not happening. And we also haven't seen the ultimate Jack shot, which is surprising to me. I mean, supposedly it was 1 in 7 before, now it's 1 in 8. I mean, it should have made that big a difference, but I'm pretty sure we'd seen it like 2 or 3 times at least by now in the previous run. But I really need that Armageddon to happen like now. That's why I keep putting auto life back on. I'm banking that it's going to happen, but no. Again, this is bad. Like he's forgotten how to Armageddon. Tyler's only going to get 1 turn anyway, so screw it. I'm going to use another attack rules here. Okay, I'm going to attack. So it's Ultra Spark next. Normally. There it is, okay. So, this is the worst possible scenario right now, what you're seeing. We know for a fact that Ultra Spark, there's a 7 in 8 chance that Ultra Spark is the next move. So we have to be extremely careful. Because I won't be able to heal in time for it. Yeah, so here you have 2 choices. Either you've got to try and get back up above... yeah, back up above like 41,000 or whatever, or you just have to auto life to stay in the game. Of course, you could get lucky and it could use the other move, but that's just not a game we're going to play here. Okay. Just thinking, I'm pretty sure there's nothing I can do to heal enough. Let's toss a fantasy potion. We've not tossed any of these in the whole game. Let's just see what happens. Maybe it will heal me enough to save me from this Ultra Spark. You never know. There you go. Ooh. Yes. Fantasy potions, eh? I gotta remember to ask Pbirdman how to farm those, if at all. That's what I'm talking about. That's the first time we've seen them actually come in useful for the entire run. Damn. Okay, now we're talking. Gonna Mega Phoenix for the extra healing. Right. What are we doing now? So we know for a fact that we're not going to see Ultra Spark for a little while here, which is good news. Just going to wait it out for now. Here we go. Okay, first time. If this hits Waka, this is a good outcome because he's the only one with auto life anyway, so I'll just reset and use it again. Okay, we back. Wait. Yeah, I'll just dispel myself for now. Let's just see if this also removes Curse. I feel like it does. It does. So yeah, Holy Waters are pointless in this scenario. Usually you don't have to deal with both at once, I think maybe that's why. It's just such a niche scenario for me. Okay, I'll probably attack and I'll get Tidus to entrust here. We're gonna start making moves again. 10 million HP, remember? I asked Pbirdman, he says still 10 million. So we know that much. But at least we... Oh, she's still in that Sentinel, that's nice as well. It's worked out well. But I think Rocket Punch gives you delay, so we're gonna have to wait a bit longer before we get the Hyper Null. But yeah, gotta keep that Fantasy Potion in mind. It's what Pbirdman made it for. They haven't proved useful pretty much at all for most of the game. But now maybe they're coming into their own as well. I'm sure Pbirdman would have been happy to see me use one finally. I'm gonna go for the Overdrive here, just thinking it's Ethereal Cannon next anyway, so let's just go. Is this the session? The one I've been waiting for? Yeah, this Ultima's not going to affect us. This is going to affect Tidus if it hits him, but it isn't, thankfully. Oh, wait a minute. I'm finding it hard to keep track. I think Fantasy Potion doubled Waka's HP as well. A lot of things happened when I used it. I've forgotten exactly what it did because I haven't used it for like 200 hours pretty much, so... But that's pretty dope. Okay. I think I can just keep attacking here. And... do a bit more of this. So we have Ultra Spark coming next. Again, just got to be a bit careful here. Okay. Is it worth attacking? I think it is. Surely now this time. Barring any major mistakes or run out of resources, which I'm pretty sure I won't, I should be fine. It seems like you don't need to double up HP at this stage, especially when there's only Nemesis left. We good. But you see, with that 40%, it's almost always at least one of them still gets power broken, so I think the lowering of the percentage still works pretty nice. I'll quick pockets here just to get that turn back. Okay, ready to roll. I just hope we don't get too many more Armageddons that happen at like the worst time. We've already had one of them. It always just feels so powerful. More attack reels, why not? mean, this is almost like 1.2 million damage just by itself so far. Remember, would have been, of course, 3.6 million if it was vanilla. So it's only about a third as effective. Okay, what's next? It's Ethereal Cannon next. So again, don't want to see Armageddon here. I think we're good to just keep going at the moment. Ethereal Cannon's a pretty slow move, thankfully, so we get to have a nice onslaught afterwards. Okay. Ultra Spark to come next. I need to get rid of this curse. She's not power broken though, so this time I will use a Holy Water because it's quicker. After that Armageddon, I do need to get the auto life back on ASAP. Okay, Ultra Spark coming after this, but it shouldn't be a problem. One thing I would say, maybe to keep players on their toes in the defensive sense, is probably to give people mental break. So if there's a 40% chance of power break, maybe Ultra Spark carries like a 20% chance of mental break or something. Not so that you constantly spend time using Dispel for mental break, but it's one of those where if you do have mental break, even your high HP characters will die from Ultima and Ethereal Cannon, those kind of moves. So I think that's one thing I will be suggesting. Less power break, a little bit more mental break should do the trick. Yeah, so no one got power broken this time, that's good. Still over 70 healing water, so hopefully that should be more than enough to see me through here. So when we don't have power break, obviously still Holy Water is the way to go. Speed. Okay. I'm not going to use any more attack rules. Armageddon is not too far away, so I want the overdrive. For me, I basically want 2 people to have overdrives before Armageddon, at least. Could be Armageddon next. If it isn't, I think it's Rocket Punch. Just in case it is Rocket Punch, I'll heal up so Waka can do a bit more damage. There we go. Yeah, Waka's not going to get a turn anyway, so I'll keep attacking. Again, in case maybe we get Armageddon next. Actually, no, I won't, because it's ethereal cannon anyway. It doesn't matter. Let's just keep attacking. Yep. Right, Walker's back in business. Let's heal up a bit first. But you can see the amount of difference the MP has made. I think I've used like 2 turbo ethers and 1 fantasy potion. I've had enough MP to deal with one of the highest endurance battles of the game, so that's a good sign. Of course, if you have to use magic to attack and not just like quick hit, then of course things are going to be a bit different, but it's a good sign. So the 2000 cap, I think feels pretty good at this stage. I was wondering if it's the right number, but it seems good to me. So once again, are we going to see Armageddon here? Be the worst time to see it. Will you unleash Armageddon? Yes, you will. So once again, this is the worst. Ugh. I think, well, worst comes to worst, we have to summon an Aeon shield. Or we just use fantasy potions to get us out of trouble. Let's see. I think Riku was cursed, maybe? Damn. So this is looking like the absolute worst scenario here. Yeah, we know Ultra Spark is coming next. And there's no way Riku gets a turn first. But I guess we do have the MP to be able to do this. But to me it just feels like, what's the point? If we got these fantasy potions, let's use them. These have been organically obtained. I'm pretty sure. Wait a minute. Ooh. So I forgot the exact mechanics. Is it based on the amount of enemies you've killed in the game? This is our final shot, so let's just use this anyway. Let's just see this. Yeah, it works well for Waka, but not for Riku. And what if he uses it on someone else? Waka survives here anyway. This is just, we'll see. Ooh, we got lucky. Ultimate weapon shot. It should have been Ultra Spark, but we got this. Wow. I mean, Waka would have survived anyway, and we would just Mega Phoenix back, but... So it doesn't matter who uses it, it's been programmed in a way that only the stats of the character receiving the potion matters. That's really interesting. Okay. At least we got to find out a bit more about Fantasy Potion in action. Rip. So now it begs the question, does that mean that Ultra Spark has been skipped, or... I'm not sure. In any case, but yeah, what you just saw there again was pretty much the worst set of turns. But we should be safe now. And I've got MP to burn here, so I'm just gonna play everything very safe. Okay. And now we can finally get that Mega Mighty G back, so in case there is an Ultra Spark next, it won't kill us anyway, but it'd be good to be protected now. Yes, okay, so that's important to know. Seeing the ultimate eject shot doesn't mean that it's skipped that particular turn, it still means it's coming next. It's like an interlude. All important information. Right, let's get that healing back. We should be able to start attacking soon, depending on how many people have been power broken. Just Riku this time. Right? Yep. But I think I'll quick pockets again to get rid of Curse. Okay, and now we should pretty much be in business. Right, let's go. I'm gonna use another attack wheels here. Screw it. I know that both Ultra Spark and Armageddon are still pretty far away, so I've got time to get some overdrives back. Okay, ultimate weapon shot happening more frequently here. This kind of slows you down because you need to reapply auto life and that kind of thing. It's not a huge deal, but especially now that I have the big MP, just casting auto life manually isn't a problem anymore. But of course they come back with pretty low HP, so you've got to waste turns healing as well. Ooh, perfect. Look at that. Could not have worked out any better. This has got to be the attempt, surely. Got to be the one. It just, again, it's been a long battle, so I just got to avoid big mistakes here. So we had Ultimate Eject Shot, we had Ultra Spark, then we had another Ultimate Eject Shot, so now it should still be Rocket Punch, I think. Let's go for this. Okay, I think we can get back on the attack now. Should have plenty of turns. Maybe we'll even take it out before the next one. Before the next Armageddon. Ultimajor? What? What? We've got a new turn. I did say, what about a more powerful Ultima? Oh my god. Ooh, okay. Ooh, it's like a double strength Ultima. We killed it. Woohoo. Alright, so we had a final trick up his sleeve. It's a more powerful Ultima. But I think I had Shell and 5 times focus. So that's why I survived it fairly easily with 5,000 damage taken. But I guess if you didn't have those, you'd take huge damage from that. So, oof. But there we go. What do we get? 15 Dark Matters, which is pretty cool. I think that can go up to like 30 or 45 as well or something. I'll put an annotation in, but you can definitely get a lot of Dark Matters from fighting Nemesis. It's not a recommended way to farm for it, but it could definitely help. Now, oh yes, this is clutch as well, because he's going to need that. He's going to need that eventually. It saves me a little bit of extra farming time. We'll take anything we can get. Only 3 slots for that. Okay. Ooh. What now? Okay, my friends. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to edit this in, but what we're going to do, basically, after you beat Nemesis, you get a different dialogue than you would have got in the vanilla version. And basically what happened was I started to read it, and I'll probably keep in the first version of it because it contains something really cool, and I want you guys to sort of get my first reaction of that instead of basically trying to kind of fake react to it for a second time. So I'll keep that first version in, but then afterwards Pbirdman actually wanted to add a new little bit of lore to Final Fantasy X in his mod. So the idea is, before I start to show you guys those new extra lines, one thing that I think is a little bit disappointing when it comes to the Dark Aeons, because they were sort of it seems like they were an afterthought. I mean, they weren't in the original Japanese version of the game, and they were placed in the PAL/International version of the game that came out much later. They don't really have any story attached to them, they don't really have any lore attached to them, we don't really know why they exist or anything like that. So Pbirdman decided to try and add just a few extra lines, like nothing major, there isn't a whole new big story about them or anything. But he wanted to just add like a few little extra touches to make them seem like they had a bit more lore and presence in the world of Spira. So that's what you guys are going to be seeing. The reason we had to delay things a little bit was because the lines that initially came out, they were his absolute first draft, and I hadn't seen them before either. And once I had to read through them as well, and we both had to look through it, there was a few things that we wanted to change and correct. So rather than show you guys the absolute first draft of it, I'm going to beat Nemesis and Omega again and show you the new dialogue that you get for beating the monster arena. So let's get into it. I mean, I'm not overly happy with the fact that I have to defeat Nemesis and Omega all over again just to get that line. I mean, that's going to be annoying, but I guess to start this session, that's going to have to be something that I do. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Oh, wait a minute. Ult Major, isn't that the final move when you win? That's odd. Or has he changed the mechanics now? Oh. So yeah, this is a little bit of a little April Fool's trick, I guess, as it were, a slight delay one. So basically I asked for Pbirdman to create me a patch where these two had 1 HP each, just so I could quickly beat them and get the dialogue. So this is a one-of-a-kind patch that I'll probably always keep, where Nemesis and Omega have 1 HP, just so that I could quickly beat them and show you guys the new dialogue. So I wanted to trick you guys into thinking I was really going to fight them again, but I didn't have to. So thank you to Pbirdman for this extra patch, it's definitely helpful. The battle itself will have some minor changes when you see the public release, but it's very similar to what you would have seen throughout the episode. So there you go, 45 Dark Matters, which is epic, 3 level 4 key spheres and a warp sphere. Awesome. I mean, I'm probably just going to keep these. This is a good way to farm for these kind of things if you want them. Did I really have this many weapons, or... Wow, I didn't remember that. Okay, so what you're about to see in a second is the first version of the draft with my initial reaction to some of the things, and I'll tell you guys when we're switching over to the latest patch. Team Pbirdman, the new champions of Spira. In Sir Dansgo 8's words, impossible. Impossible, impossible. That's right, Sir Burke's a legendary Hypello, yes? I never imagined the superpowers would be dethroned. Heroic. You may even be able to best the Nightmare Run. The what now? Do what I couldn't. Slay the devil itself and his 10 dark disciples. Mark of Odds. Oh my god! Hey! I think that's got to be surely a shout out to my friend Toby Ott, the blind video gamer that I had made a documentary with. I've got to share that with him for sure. That's a really, really nice touch. On behalf of him, a huge thank you for giving him a shout out in the mod. That's so cool. And of course, again, for adding me. I was too kind of shocked to do my best terrible Hypello impression, but there you go. So you get some custom Dansgo 8 lines if you manage to do it. So this used to be the Mark of Conquest, but now it's called the Mark of Ott. What a lovely touch. Okay, so that was the start of the first patch that he did before we had some revisions coming in. And one of the main reasons we revised it was because he used the phrase Nightmare Run. And I said to him straight away, and you could kind of tell from there, that it was like, wait a minute, is there a new category in the monster arena? So it created a little bit of confusion that I think probably wasn't necessary. So we kind of started from there, and there were a few more changes made. Just remember before listening on, there's certain restrictions for whatever reason. There's certain like punctuation and stuff that he's not able to mod in even though he wants to. So it's not because he's grammatically incompetent, it's just because for whatever reason there's certain things that he cannot change or he cannot put in. But you're about to see the full current version of the new Pbirdman lore for the mod. This is going to be new to me. Hopefully there's going to be some cool stuff in there, so let's take a look. Alright, hopefully it's worked out correctly this time. Team Pbirdmod, the new champions of Spira. In Sir Dansgawate's own words, impossible, impossible. That's right, Sir Burke's a legendary high pillow, yes? I mean, it's still funny. I mean, that's just a brilliant line. I never imagined the superpowers would be dethroned. Heroic. You may even be able to take down the devil itself. So this is, of course, the new dialogue. The devil itself. Do what I couldn't. Slay the devil and his 10 dark disciples. So this is a direct reference to the Dark Aeons. He goes by the name of Ultark, which means the most powerful... Oh, okay, the most powerful of all powerful fiends. So this wasn't in the first version that I read. So I guess this is Penance's new name. Goes by the name of Ultark. Interesting. Don't take it or his disciples lightly, as they are all deadly. Trust me. Ultark commands the 10 Book of Ages. Each disciple has honed their skills based on the books handed down to them. The books also teach the disciple to break down a target's body and soul. What does that even mean? The books can also give hints to the relevant disciple fight / battle style, so pay attention. Mark of Ott. So this is something that's super cool. I put in an annotation originally once I edited the episode, but this is something that is not going to be in the public release. This is just something that he wanted to do as a shout out for Toby Ott, who's a friend of mine and a Final Fantasy fan, and Pbirdman wanted to send a shout out to him in my version of the game. But this is going to have a different name in the public version. I also trained here to fight the devil, but I barely escaped with my life trying to get to him. I managed to get back home to Kilika Island and recover, so that's cool, like all these little extra bits of story. Then recently, after rebuilding Kilika Island from Sin's Rage, I saw Jack's boy pass through, and it brought all the memories flooding back. That's interesting. So I guess maybe what we imply here is that in this new lore, over time as they go through their pilgrimage, like the news that the legendary Sir Jack's son is also in Spira must have like made its way through the world. That's kind of cool. You see, 10 years ago, I was a Blitzball reporter and thought that Jack disappeared trying to find the books. But my quest ended at Markalania by a frozen disciple, leaving me with just 1 HP to spare. So I left Kilika Island and came back here hoping to see Jack's boy again and train / help him bring down the ultimate sin. Whoa, that's epic. Zanar, I said to myself, revenge time. Team Pbirdmod, here's a few statements from the first set of books. Book of Wind teaches us to rely on inner abilities, and not just material abilities. Book of Torch advises that to reach one's goal, one must take 2 steps back for every step forward. Strange, on the back cover it also says, Durran was here 2K21. He spelled Durran wrong, it's with an E, but one thing I said to Pbirdman was, man, can you please like find some kind of Durran Easter egg / thing, and he's putting Durran was here 2K21. So in the Pbirdman mod there's definitive proof that Durran is still alive. He disappeared, but he is out there somewhere. He wasn't killed by Sin or some other monster. Book of Ice informs us that the best way to subdue is to take the wind out of one's sails. Ask around, maybe others have info on some of the other books. Okay, so that was super cool. That's a lot different from the thing that I first read. So after reading the very, very first draft of the new lore information, me and Pbirdman, again, we had a chat about it. I loved the premise and the idea that we got to hear a bit more about the trainer, and we got to link in the Dark Aeons as something that's like more known within Spira. So that's an excellent addition, and I think that's lore-wise, that's a gap that definitely existed in the international version and by extension the remaster. So I'm really glad they put something in for that. I mean, in terms of like the story and the world and all that kind of thing, Pbirdman pretty much hasn't touched anything, and if you ask me, like that's the right way to handle it, because his goal was more about the gameplay and all that kind of stuff. But I think if there's one area where there's a lot of license for a mod creator to go in there and start putting in some of their own story, I definitely think it's the Dark Aeons, and that's a great opportunity for Pbirdman to sort of flex his writing muscles a little bit and try and think of some new cool stuff to add to the lore of Spira. So that is a deal. We have the devil, Altark is its name, so Penance is going to be called Altark if I've understood it correctly, and he has 10 disciples, which are the 10 Dark Aeons, and each one of these guys has a book, and I guess each book gives you a hint on how to beat them. So I guess you probably have to note these down, because I don't think we can access this information. Are they key items? That would be really cool if you found a way to make them key items, actually. That'd be amazing. Yeah, I don't think you can. Just in case of, like, I edit it a bit differently and I don't have the bit where I read this out. Given to those who have surpassed mortal bounds. So this is the original text that's in the vanilla version anyway, and Pbirdman thought it would be like a nice touch, because Toby is someone that has something that restricts him from being able to do stuff that we take for granted, and the fact that he's still able to persevere and to win anyway, the fact that, you know, is given to those who have surpassed mortal bounds, I think is very fitting for Toby. So it's just like a really nice little touch from Pbirdman, and I think he's done so well with that kind of stuff in this mod as well. It's one of the more underrated features, I think, of the mod. But yeah, we don't get these books as key items. I guess it's worth me asking. I don't think I asked him directly if it's possible to create key items for it. Probably not, but I'll ask anyway, and maybe there's a way that when you get, like, if you speak to the right person, they can give you the book so that you can refer back to the text. But if you can't, that means you're going to have to make a note of what these books say, so I have to go back in editing and jot those down for when I fight, like, the relevant Dark Aeon. So alongside that dialogue that you just heard there are people scattered around Spira that are going to tell you some more information about the Dark Aeon. So that's really interesting. I'll probably show you what I have. I mean, he sent me a list of, I think, like, new dialogue related to this stuff. So in the next episode, I will potentially go around Spira and see any new dialogue that we have related to the devil and his 12 disciples. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys for the end of this episode. Some really nice touches from Pbirdman there, and I really hope you enjoy it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to the original outro that I had for the Nemesis episode. This was all like an extra little bit of recording I did to show you guys the new lines and the new lore. So I'll splice back in my original ending, but this is going to be the end of the session coming up, and in the next one it's going to be the Dark Aeons. Whew. I could finally let out a big sigh of relief as I crossed 200 hours and I finally managed to defeat Nemesis and complete the monster arena. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's been a hell of a ride. I don't even remember how many hours it was when I arrived here, but I have spent a long time here, all the way from the Guardians run to the Veterans run to the Hero run, and finally the Superpowers at the end. I've had an absolute blast. I mean, Pbirdman's thrown in some really, really cool battles here. Once again, I just can't stress enough how difficult it is to try to create and modify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 13. Another 14 here, that's 27. Another 7 here, that's 34, and 35. That's 35 boss battles here, where normally in vanilla, you guys have all seen the LP. It's any player that knows what they're doing will make the monster arena look like a piece of cake, and they'll just absolutely romp through it without a second thought. It's really quite easy, unless you're kind of self-restricting and doing it at very low levels and that kind of thing. This Pbirdman version is such a step up, and it's so unique in so many different ways. So reintroducing like some of the storyline bosses into the Guardian run, putting in some enemies from the game that normally didn't appear in the monster arena. There were different like interesting teams to take on here. We had like up to 5 different bosses to take on in a single battle. Then Veterans run with some excellent combinations here. Mr. T, the giant, the Don Tomberry, which was insane. We had a lot of trios which were extremely difficult to defeat at the levels that I was at least. And, you know, all in all, I think he just did an absolutely brilliant job, given that once again it's just one man, it's one mind. He just sat down and thought, what can I do here? And he has spent months and years of his life trying to bring you guys a mod that will be entertaining to either watch or to play yourselves. Of course, is everything perfect? No, it isn't, and he's well aware of that too. He's done his best to do everything in his power to give you guys an entertaining and challenging and well-varied monster arena. It doesn't always hit the mark exactly how he wants to. Some things he can't foresee. Some things, even though it's implemented how he wants them, you know, people don't respond how he expects. These kind of things happen. It's inevitable. But largely, the comments that he's seen, he's of course been very happy with. A lot of you guys have been very supportive and appreciative of his effort. And criticisms that he's received, he's done his best to try and acknowledge them and not sort of get too defensive about people criticizing his work. Of course, some of the criticism is valid, some of it is less valid, some of it is just, you know, quite ill-toned, but that's just the internet, and, you know, he's gotten used to that, unfortunately, the hard way. Previously, before this, he used to exist in much more closed circles of people that knew who he was and what it was about and that respected what he'd contributed to the community and the game and all that kind of thing. But when you kind of expand out to YouTube and you have like 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 people watching, you know, a lot of people are not going to have that same level of background with Pbirdman, and everyone's different. So it's definitely been a challenge for him, and especially like in this episode, I think if you guys have been enjoying what you've been seeing and you've been appreciating the work, please do let him know, because he's just you know, for more kind of hardened veterans of the online community like me, in terms of just like having the YouTube channel and reading tens of thousands of comments over the years, and I'm much more used to it. But for Pbirdman, it's been a new experience, and it has of course been challenging at times for him to sort of read things that he wasn't expecting to see. And no one's born being used to that kind of criticism for their work when their only intention has been to try and provide something that's free of charge. It's going to be free of charge to everybody, and he just wants everyone to have a new way to experience a game that we all know and love. But despite that, despite, you know, his intentions, there are going to be people that are going to be unhappy with things. They're going to criticize, they're going to be mean sometimes, and that's also why it's always just great to hear from the large majority who are enjoying the content and that do appreciate what he's been doing. So for this video in particular, if you've been watching along, please take the time to let Pbirdman know that you appreciate the work, and, you know, specifically maybe some of your favorite battles in the monster arena, some of your favorite combinations and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure he'd love to hear it. And yeah, so that's all I really have to say about the monster arena for now. Of course, along the way, we've literally talked about every single battle. I've given him like a, you know, other than my video, I've given him like a written sort of mini report on everything I faced, and we've discussed endlessly like what to do and how to improve things. What kind of comments have been coming in from YouTube, and what can we do about those? Do we think that they're valid? Do we think they should be implemented, or do we want to modify what's been said? Do we just ignore it? So that's been happening for months and months and months. And finally, we have what you've seen so far. Now, the final word is, of course, there are some changes to the battles that you would have seen. Not every single video I uploaded and every single battle you've seen is the absolute final version of a particular boss, but they are going to be pretty close to what you're going to see when you're playing the game yourself when the public release is out. We've of course done our best, and I'm very happy with what we have so far. What this means is that we're finally ready to take on the final chapter in the Pbirdman mod, and that is of course the Dark Aeons. I have been waiting for this for, at this point, literally years. It's taken me so long to get this far, but I am pumped, I am excited, I'm ready to take them on. I don't know, because they're going to be most likely singular, I don't know, maybe he's going to do a double Dark Valor Force or something, but if they are singular, there is a chance that some of the earlier Dark Aeons might be easier than some of the like hardest battles we've seen in the monster arena. And that was the case in Vanilla too. Like, Dark Valor Force was easier than a lot of stuff that you'd fight in the monster arena. Especially if you had a little bit of luck and can hit it consistently, it was pretty damn easy. You could literally take it out in one turn with Walker's attack reels. So that's how easy the old Dark Aeons could be, but I'm pretty sure in the Pbirdman mod it's going to be a different story. So I'm very much looking forward to it. For the next session, what I'll do is I'll have a word with Pbirdman and ask him what he thinks I need to do about accuracy and luck. The main sort of differential between the Dark Aeons and the Monster Arena in vanilla was that you needed luck to be able to hit them. Without that increase in luck, most of them were almost impossible to hit, and it was so difficult to do so that you might as well just use your overdrives and not bother fighting them at all. So I'm going to find out what the sort of recommended level for luck is going to be. Then we're going to find out how does luck farming even work, because obviously we have to defeat, normally we defeat Earth Eater and Greater Sphere for the Fortune Sphere and the Luck Sphere combo. Is that exactly the same? How many spheres do we get? How long does it take to reasonably farm some luck? We're going to have a look, because this is another important element of the post game. Pretty much everybody who has got a platinum trophy in Final Fantasy X has had to do a little bit of luck farming, and so we're going to find out how that works too. And then we're going to make our way in towards our first Dark Aeon, which should be a lot of fun. So a huge thank you once again to everyone that's been watching so far. It's been 200 hours, and a lot of that 200 has been uploaded onto YouTube, and you guys have been with us pretty much the whole way. Really appreciate everyone still supporting this series after such a long time. Like I say, please show some extra love in this episode for Pbirdman and his hard work, and I will be seeing you guys for the next session and for the rest of the mod very soon. So take care, I'll see you soon.